Collaboration with other consultants, soil testers, engineers, designers, architects is incredibly powerful to your business.
Duayne, our 6P of partnerships is all about the partnerships that you create with the other professionals that are really important as part of building and renovating custom homes. So we're talking architects, designers, even engineers, town planners, and also your client. We see your client as a partner as well. So in terms of thinking about the relationships that you create with your partners, how important do you think as a builder it is to build great quality relationships with other industry professionals?
It's huge, and it flows so much onto so many other areas of your business. Like I think collaborating with other people now, it's definitely a passion of mine. Obviously, our pack process has really changed the way that I not only deal with other professionals, but even what I think about them. And learning why and how they do certain things is really it's really making me a far better builder. Since we've really started doing the pack process and deep diving into more of the professional, it started out with just getting involved with the designer and the architect, but it's now flowed on to we've got incredible relationships with a couple of engineers. So we collaborate really closely with the designers and architects to coordinate drawings and ensure there's no discrepancies and things. But even things like the soil testing company, in the past that was always something that was out of our control, but now, part of our pack process is that we working with the architect or designer to schedule the soil test with the client. I go to site now. I'm pretty much on site at every soil test that gets done. And I've learned about soil, to the point where one soil tester showed me this little tool that you can get a handful of dirt, push it on the dirt. It'll tell you the strength of the soil. And we've been able to purchase one of those tools so that now when our boys are on site digging foundations and it has on the drawings, hey, footings must found in such and such, we can test it. So it's made me a better builder, it's educated me, it's made my team better. But most importantly, the collaboration is just getting incredible results for our clients.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Having been in this industry as long as we have, it's very familiar that there'll be a lot of, architects blaming builders, builders blaming architects, engineers blaming architects, and, and this whole, whilst we all need to work together to make these projects happen, there can be a lot of weird animosity that happens between the different industry professionals and a lot of frustration as well, because we feel like nobody's understanding what we need in order to work. And it's the same thing that we talk about with your team. If you are making assumptions that everybody else should understand how you work and why you do the things the way you do, then you can of course run into problems with another industry professional doing things the way that they always do and not understanding why you might need information a specific way. Yeah. And I remember having an architectural boss say to me very early on in my career, look, Amelia, any line you draw on that piece of paper, you've got to remember that's going to be a piece of material that's going to have to be loaded onto a truck, brought out to site, physically moved into that, whatever it is.
I wish everyone thought of that.
Yeah, and it was really eye-opening to then start cultivating those conversations with other industry professionals even to the point of, creating drawings. What is the best way for this information to be communicated? So you're not wasting time and money of the clients on the wrong information. You're helping each other do your jobs better. And it just streamlines things overall. And when you actually have to spend a lot of time with these people, you want to be spending time with people that you enjoy, you get along with. It's important that then getting to know and creating good relationships with these industry professionals really just streamlines so much.
In the past, I definitely didn't see how much it could improve my business. And in the past, there was things that would come up on site that we'd just deal with ourselves, or it'd become we'd make it a far bigger deal than it was, or it'd cause a variation because something would get delayed. We had to check with the engineer, and there was endless amounts of things that were going wrong that we managed to solve through doing a pack process and collaborating. And it's actually, even just sitting here now, thinking and talking to you about it, one designer and one engineer in particular, we've built such a good relationship now that we've actually sat down and we've had team meetings about how do you deal with this on site? What are we going to do to make this better? Like the engineer knows now on our jobs where we're happy to use steel, where we're happy we'd rather use timber. He understands our reasons for that, like whether it's like labour on site, whether it's cost to the client. So there's a lot of really close discussions about, look, this is what I need to do here. What's your thoughts on this? Is it going to work? Is it efficient? Do you think there's a better way to do it? But not only having those conversations through the design process, we don't have hold-ups now. Like with that particular designer and engineer, throughout the entire job, I can pick up the phone, I can give them a call, I can say, hey mate, we're just on this particular job. Like I don't even most of the time have to say a plan number. Like I just say, this is the job address. He's like, oh yeah, I remember that conversation we had about this. And it's more so with renovations, but I can be like, look mate, we've just stripped these walls. This is what we found. We discussed this, but would you mind if we did this? And I can have an answer a lot of time like that. Like on the phone call, I can get off the phone. Sometimes I might have to sketch a little bit of a detail, or he'll send me a detail through, and problem solved. We keep moving. Whereas in the old days, a lot of the time, the only way that I knew the engineer was from the stamp or the logo on the bottom of the plan. So when I was calling people up, trying to get information, a lot of the time I would have to go through an architect to get that information. It was just this big roundabout that a simple question or decision that really could have been solved over 1 or 2 phone calls could drag out for days. So yeah, I love it now. I just think it's great that everyone's on the same page. But the biggest thing out of all this is not only are we getting the best results for our clients, my business is able to operate so much more efficiently.
Yeah, I think this is the thing, is that you building these relationships with professionals who understand what standard of quality you want to deliver at. They know then and start to understand how you work and what's going to deliver a better result. You then start to discover, because you get to know them better, are they like-minded? Do they have similar standards for themselves in terms of their professional quality? Are they going to assist you in delivering the quality that you want to have, or are they not a good match and so you need to find other people to work with? So that then helps shore up your profitability as a business. And also the other amazing benefit of creating these network and industry relationships is that then you're not the one that's having to market your business all the time, and they're not the ones having to market their businesses all the time, because you can, clients will always say, do you know an engineer? Do you know an architect? Clients don't always start with the architect or designer first. They sometimes go straight to the builder. Sometimes they might even go to the engineer because they've had a structural issue on their site. And so to have those relationships with industry professionals means that they can then recommend you in to these projects, and that recommendation coming from another industry professional holds a lot of weight for a client, and then gives you, opens the door for you and your business. That this just then means you're not only having to market yourself, but you're continuing to work with people who know how you work and can work well with you. So it's just got so many benefits. But networking's not one thing that builders are necessarily, great at or want to enjoy or, really seek out. Ultimately, this is just about building good relationships, isn't it? Yeah, and
it's something that, like for me in the past, it just never crossed my mind. Like I would just get given plans, get asked to tender a job, price them up, start the job. Never really considered it, how powerful it could be. But like the marketing side of it's become a lot bigger than what we would have expected. We do have a couple of engineers now that put our name forward all the time. And to me, that is a really big one, because structural issues are things that clients are really scared about. Like they see so many horror stories on A Current Affair and things, and for us to get recommended by an engineer, and a good engineer, has just done wonders for our business. But another really powerful thing with this is throughout, like at the moment, we're having these situations in the industry where shortages on materials and things. So the engineer has called me multiple times, and when he's doing his drawings, and the designer, and said, hey, what have you heard about this? We're thinking about this material. We're thinking we need to use these beams. What do you think? And like I'm able to make some calls to my suppliers, check on availability, go back to them. And it's actually happened multiple times where I've gone back to the engineer and said, look, that is available at the moment, but there's possibly going to be a shortage. Can you give us 2 options? And it's worked so well because we've been able to start our jobs, in particular in the last 12 months, been a massive shortage on roof trusses. But I don't have to delay the job, I don't have to go to the engineer because I've already got an option for a hand-pitched roof. So collaboration with other consultants, soil testers, engineers, designers, architects is incredibly powerful to your business.
Yeah, make sure if you're seeing architects or engineers' names on the drawings that you're receiving, reach out to them, reach out to professional colleagues in your area, organise to have a meeting, start to that conversation of what opportunities you have to build great relationships with them. Who knows what could come from it.